Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take another look here at ARB, which is considered Arbitrum. We're going to take a look at the Bitcoin chart, of course, because there's a lot more data there, but we're also going to kind of compare that with the USDT chart so you can kind of see how that works, because it went live on USDT here recently, where it's been trading on Bitcoin for a long time. Cool. So just something to kind of understand. Its original ICO date was back in 2021, but more recent, I think it was March 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. So there's not a tremendous amount of data on it with the USD, but of course Bitcoin kind of gives us a better perspective there. So we'll look at both of them, of course, to kind of help understand what that looks like, so we can kind of draw a comparison between the two, right? Because a lot of times the value of Bitcoin versus the value of the USD, it's really super important to kind of understand the comparison between those two. So we'll acknowledge that here in just a moment. So first of all, if you're new to the channel, just got to let you know, I'm not a financial advisor, but I love teaching people to trade. I've been trading for a very long time. And in that time, I can tell you I've had some very rewarding experiences. For one, creating a trading community where we all learn and grow together. Okay, so my trading community is really dynamic. We have signals I send out for every single trade that I take. We took 38% profit in 2 days here from BNB with a short. Same thing with a short from Bitcoin at 35% on 1 day and 7 hours. Okay. We've also got a lot of excellent traders in the community as well, trading a lot of different coins. We got SXP, Bitcoin, of course, Ethereum, handful of others. But the great thing is we all learn and grow together, and it's an amazing experience. So if you want to consider joining, cryptocash.tech is the website. Link down below, you can register to become a better trader. I also have a trading academy, which essentially allows for you to learn how to become a better trader, teach you everything that I know. Okay, so be sure to check that out. Very last thing as well to note is that we do have a partners page. We actually have some really awesome rewards with my partners here, with BitGet and of course Bybit. Bybit's running a promotion right now with a deposit reward. Anytime you just create an account, you get a decent amount of trading rewards there. And then BitGet, of course, we get trading competitions almost monthly. Okay, so be sure to check that out. All right, so here's the thing with ARB. It's a unique coin, obviously, in the sense of the fact that in the big picture, it has done very well for itself in the past, but right now it's kind of struggling. Okay, now the easiest way to understand it here is, first of all, with the big picture here, we can see the price actions continued down. Most things continued down because they were doing very well in late 21, and then of course 2022 hit and things kind of just took a dive. Okay, so what we want to look at here is in the big picture, kind of see what its previous RSI scenario looks like. Now, what I mean by that is, if we see the relative strength index, anytime it comes up over 70, it's going parabolic. Okay, so it's done that twice. In its history, of course, it's gone parabolic a few times, but generally speaking, looking at the RSI over 70, that's a great indication of when the price action shoots up. Okay, so there's a correlation there. Inverse applies as well. When the price action is down close to 30, the price action will tend to rebound and bounce. Okay, so what we're seeing right now is a pretty healthy continuation bounce here off of 30 in the RSI. In other words, the price action came down to 30 previously, continued upwards for some time. The overall percentage from that bottom to top was close to 50%, and that took roughly about a month to perform that action. Here, we have this new bottom that's in. Of course, we can see 30 on the RSI holding strong, and the price action is slowly progressing upwards. Okay, so that's only the last roughly week worth of trading. So what does that all mean for us here? Well, that means that we are on the right side of tracks here. We likely have the bottom in for the Bitcoin pairing here for ARB, and that's a very positive sign. Okay, if you look previously as well, the price action could definitely go lower to right around the 2,400 mark. That's the lowest point it's ever gone, but we're right now at averaging about 29 to 3,000. Okay, now keep in mind, this is Satoshis, is a little bit different than the US dollar. We'll compare that here in just a moment, but generally speaking, the bottom feels like it's in because we are really close to that 30 mark on RSI, and it's holding as a support, and the price action has bounced off that level. So what we want to do is see a progression here where the price action doesn't get rejected at 50, it continues higher. Okay, so preferably we're going to see some resistance here at 50, and then of course it'll break to the upside. That's essentially what we're looking for. I pay close attention to the relative strength index as well as the money flow index, and right now money flow is coming back into this coin. Okay, in fact, there's a lot of money flowing into this coin here today. If we pull up our charts here, we can kind of see just really quick. We have roughly 1.6 billion market cap, but 763 million volume here in the last 24 hours, up 8%. It's one of the stronger coins here today. Okay, so good stuff there. All right, so let's take a quick peek at the regular charts here, the US dollar chart. Kind of see what this means. Based on Fibonacci, our most recent high is right here at about $1.56. Current low is at $1.09. So again, as I mentioned before, with the Bitcoin pairing, if the price action is comparable to Bitcoin's price action, then we're looking pretty good. And from what I can tell here, this is a very similar pattern here, where we're seeing higher highs and higher lows on the Bitcoin chart. but lower lows and lower highs on the day, on the actual US dollar. So that could imply that the US dollar is less valuable, or essentially it's losing its value towards Bitcoin, which in a lot of cases can be disadvantageous. But once again, we got that positive sign bouncing off 30 on the RSI. And we don't have enough data for this new chart because it's more recent there as of March 23rd. But in the last week and a half, roughly 2 weeks of trading, you can see the price action is bouncing between this range of 109 to 145. It's pretty consistent there. We can also see here the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level of $21.27 is essentially a resistance area there. And until it breaks above there, we got to expect it to kind of get rejected here. Okay, so what we want to do is take a look at smaller time frames, kind of see if there's any other indication we can identify. Because basically, when you have this less amount of trading data on specific charts, for example, you can only truly rely on actual Fibonacci retracement levels. So far, we've proven to retest this level here at 109 twice, and we've got that double bottom. So we do have a potential double bottom here, where the price action should and could continue higher. That in conjunction with 30 on the RSI bouncing pretty hard, the new bottom is in for ARB. I think it's a good chance that we're going to see with this increased amount of volume, the price action continue higher here to break that level. Okay, so again, hypothetically, the price comes up to retest that level 145. It's a decent like 15%. Okay, so ARB is looking pretty decent here, prime for the picking. We're still early in this continuation. We're only about 12 hours into this potential 36-hour continuation. RSI was above 50 now on the 4-hour time frame. We got a MACD convergence. So all three things here combining are telling us that we have a bullish continuation potential to retest this level here at about 138 to 145. We take a look at the hourly. See if the cloud can tell us anything. We should have enough data for that. We can see we're back up above the cloud. We have somewhat of a confirmation here at this point. We don't have enough data for our lagging span to kind of kick in because that's a delayed moving average, but it does tell us here we're above the cloud, and that's a very important thing. Furthermore, as well, let's see here if there's anything else we can identify in the 1 hour. Typically, look at TD sequential. We are overextended here, so we can see we hit a 9 here previously, broke through that tentative resistance, and now we're above. So what we should see happen here is a price action come back down to bounce off of this 122 mark. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick look at this coin again later if it were to come back down to bounce off that level, because oftentimes the most recent high works as the most recent low. Okay, so we want this to come back down and bounce off this level before it continues higher so it doesn't overextend itself. Right? Those are all little things I like to look for. Again, I teach this in my trading academy, so be sure to check that out. But long story short here, ARB is looking fairly strong in the last 72 hours, but more importantly, the last week worth of trading data. We can see a good pairing here between Bitcoin and the US dollar, and essentially the fact that the bottom is tentatively in is a good sign. I'm not saying just to go long at any point in time, but I'm telling you at this point it makes more sense for the price action to continue higher after an immediate retracement back down to this level of about 122. That is something I'm going to be paying attention to here. So hopefully this made sense and I described this correctly. If you found benefit, comment below. Of course, we do have a free trial for our signals if you're considering that. But more importantly, come join our community of awesome traders. Looking forward to work with you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you soon.